Now at 5, blast of winter.
Snow and cold moving in for your weekend plans.
Some snow showers rolling through tonight, then the bitter cold moves in. I'll have a look ahead.
Plus, pothole nightmares.
Feels like you're driving on a dirt road.
This has been a long time since it's been this bad.
Well, it's pothole season in Metro Detroit, and we're on the road showing you what's being done to fix a major road that heads into a popular downtown.
Also ahead, lockdown lifted at Oakland University.
But the search continues right now for 2 suspects after a stabbing that left students shaken.
What is happening right now? How did we get to this point?
Students share their thoughts and feelings in the wake of last night's lockdown.
7 News Detroit starts now with a winter weather alert from 7 First Alert Weather.
And first at 5, the weekend is here and Mother Nature is not being so kind. Snow making the morning rush hour drive a little slower, and more is on the way. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Glenda Lewis.
And I'm Simon Shaquette. Temperatures are plummeting with a cold weather advisory starting tonight. We're talking about single digits with wind chills below 0.
So let's get right to 7 First Alert meteorologist Marissa Wallazin. She's tracking that snow and this bitter Arctic blast.
Marissa?
Yeah, we are looking at even more snow coming in as we speak, but thankfully we're not looking as much snow as what we had this morning. This morning we had widespread snow across the area. Right now it is mainly focused in through portions of Macomb County, but also up towards St. Clair County. You can see some of the steadier snow near Algonac at this moment and continuing to slide into Canada. We are going to be looking at just a few more showers popping up, but overall most of us will not see much, if any, snow as we move into tonight. But now we have to prepare for the Arctic air to move in. Our temperatures today have climbed close to the freezing mark, and some of us are still holding close to that. And you can see off to the north, though, that is where we're starting to see the colder air come in. The numbers, the black numbers on the left, those are our air temperatures where we do have upper 20s. The white numbers on the right, those are our wind chills, and it's already feeling like about 15 degrees across some spots. Other spots still holding on to feeling like the mid 20s, but it is going to get colder as we move overnight tonight, with our temperatures bottoming out tomorrow morning. A cold weather advisory has been issued. I'll have more on that, and also how long the cold air lasts coming up.
All right, Marissa, thank you.
And that winter weather is fueling pothole frustration across Metro Detroit. If this stretch of Rochester Road looks familiar, well, you're not alone. Craters creating chaos just about everywhere, and drivers are fed up. Comments pouring into our Facebook page, and we want to hear from you as well. Rattle the fillings out of your teeth. No matter where you are, pothole nightmares are real, and your car is paying the price.
Yeah, it is no laughing matter, really. But officials in Rochester Hills say they've been out filling holes multiple times in recent days. But drivers say conditions aren't getting much better. Right now, WXYZ.com, you will find a Google map with the biggest problem areas to avoid. 7 News Detroit reporter Brett Cast spent some time in Rochester Hills this week and quickly discovered this is what everyone is talking about.
Well, heading north on Rochester Road into downtown Rochester, it can be quite the bumpy ride. And unfortunately for those who travel this road daily, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
So what is it like driving here on this road right now?
It's terrible.
Ask any driver that question,
It feels like you're driving on a dirt road.
and you get a similar response.
It's rough. It's rough. I mean, there are holes appearing every day.
And every day, hundreds of people drive this stretch of Rochester Road between downtown Rochester and Avon Road, where Bill Dallas has lived and worked for more than a decade.
This has been a long time since it's been this bad. This road is just breaking to pieces.
Bill manages the Citgo gas station, which, like many businesses, has felt the impact of a crumbling road.
It hurts business a bit. I mean, it really does. You know, you're on a road that everybody's getting their tires beat up.
And for drivers,
I actually had to get a tire replaced because of it.
they feel that impact quite literally.
The potholes are like, it feels like the suspension's about to go through the top of the car right there.
While Rochester Road is a state road controlled by MDOT, they contract county road crews to do the repairs.
We've actually been out quite a bit already this year. I know we were out earlier this week several times.
Craig Bryson with the Road Commission for Oakland County says in the wintertime, hot asphalt isn't available, so crews rely on what's called cold patch for a temporary fix.
Cold patch is great if the road is dry and the road is solid around the pothole. They can last for a while, sometimes even years. It's not so great if the road is crumbling around the pothole and there's water in the hole. We can put a patch in. It can last a couple hours, couple days.
But the same crews patching are also responsible for salting and plowing. So with more winter weather ahead, roads like Rochester won't be getting smoother anytime soon.
Unfortunately, it's going to get worse. Usually the worst time for potholes is in the spring when we have the big thaw.
I wish they could do something about it right now, but I think the whole thing's going to have to be resurfaced.
And MDOT says this section of Rochester Road from Tinkin to M59 is actually set for a huge 2-year project that includes part of this road being completely reconstructed. However, that project is not set to begin until 2027. So in the meantime, if you spot a pothole, you can contact either MDOT's hotline or Oakland County has a form online that you can fill out. We'll have a link to that and the phone number on our website, WXYZ.com. In Rochester, I'm Brett Cast, 7 News Detroit.
And when the people of Rochester Hills want to be heard, Brett Cast is there to listen and to share their stories. From potholes to positivity, Brett wants to hear all of it. Email him anytime, brett.cast@WXYZ.com.
Well, we go now to a developing story that has Oakland University community on edge tonight. Right now, police are still searching for 2 suspects connected to a stabbing outside a student dorm. The campus lockdown has been lifted.
But we are still hearing from students and parents who are shaken up. Oakland University police working around the clock to keep campus in the know. And earlier today, posting in part, quote, officials feel that it is safe for resident students to return to normal activities.
This all happened around 8:15 last night outside Van Wagoner House on Meadowbrook Road in Rochester.
7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham is live on campus where he has been talking with students and getting the very latest from police. Darren.
It was back to business as usual for students here at Oakland University. But as you can see for police, the manhunt continues for those stabbing suspects.
I was reporting that he was just stabbed and is bleeding.
Thursday night at Oakland University, it was an emergency call following what police say started as a fight that sent campus into lockdown.
And then we saw somebody get taken off in a stretcher covered in like a blanket.
I looked out my window. I saw police lights outside. I couldn't want to go outside because I got scared.
They rescued 2, heavy bleeding, looks like 1 stab wound.
A man suffering multiple stab wounds, according to Oakland University police.
It's just kind of scary knowing that I live on this campus and stuff like that can happen.
Investigators say the fight happened at the entrance of Van Wagoner House, a campus dorm, around 8:15 p.m. It unfolded below Leo Matthews' windows. She says the bright police lights woke her up.
Really hectic and unsettling and like shocking because it's very safe here for the most part. So like you don't expect that to happen here.
University police say the victim does not attend Oakland University. Matthews and Gannon Mitchell tell me students from Oakland Community College also live in the building. Since it's an open investigation, a spokesperson for OCC said they can't comment on whether he attends their school or was just visiting someone.
Kind of weird that something like this could happen, like just so close, because you always see stuff like this on the news and then like it actually affects you and then you feel just like kind of dazed and confused.
Lockdown ended around 11:20.
I think they handled it pretty well though. Just lack of information was really scary because they only said stay indoors, suspect on the loose. What does that mean? Are they armed and dangerous? Are they getting in a car?
It's really unsettling to know, but I like the police staying here for a while afterwards last night made me feel a little better because I knew we were like protected and everything.
So far, images of the suspects have not been released, but the chief says they fled in a dark-colored SUV. Anyone with information is urged to call Oakland University Police. In Rochester, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
All right, Darren, thank you. And now that lockdown's been lifted, we wanted to find out just some of the steps Oakland University takes to keep students safe. Blue light phones scattered across campus so anyone can call police instantly if they need help. Safe Walk lets students get escorted anywhere on campus, day or night. There are also designated safe spots if you're meeting someone for an online sale. And as for your valuables, keep track of serial numbers so it's easier to recover anything if it's lost or stolen.
Turning now to a developing story that has caught the attention of the country, the heartbreaking search for Nancy Guthrie, now in its 6th day.
Investigators say they're working around the clock to bring the case open as family continues to try to appeal to her potential kidnappers. Scripps News Group's Avajoy Burnett reports on the latest.
Law enforcement has not announced any suspects or persons of interest in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, but say they're pushing forward, hoping to find anything that might help them crack the case. Meanwhile, Guthrie's children put out another plea addressing their mother's potential kidnapper. Nancy Guthrie's family making another direct appeal to her potential kidnapper.
Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward.
That message shared shortly after 5 p.m. local time Thursday. That was the time the FBI said was given as a deadline on a reported ransom note demanding several millions in Bitcoin. The FBI said the reported note was sent to some media outlets, including K-Gun, the Scripps station in Tucson. The FBI said if the transfer wasn't made by then, the person or persons made a second demand for Monday. TMZ was also among the media outlets that said it received a purported ransom note. Their founder saying this about that note.
The letter says, you will have no way of contacting me. This is the only contact. So that's why they're pleading for proof of life.
Law enforcement has not confirmed the legitimacy of the ransom notes, but says it is investigating them seriously. Meanwhile, the U.S. Attorney General is saying federal law enforcement is still assisting in the investigation.
We're doing everything to assist the locals. We're working with the locals.
The local sheriff in Pima County telling Scripps News Group Tucson on Thursday that he's still holding out hope.
People are asking, Sheriff, do you think she's alive? I have no choice. That's what keeps us going. We have to believe she's alive.
The sheriff in Pima County said earlier this week that his department would give updates every other day. So we're not expecting any new information from law enforcement, possibly till Saturday. Avajoy Burnett, Scripps News Group, Washington.
Okay, to stocks now hitting a historic milestone today. The Dow reaching 50,000 points for the first time ever. Wall Street rebounding after a 3-day rout in software and tech stocks.
The Dow jumped more than 1,200 points. The Nasdaq also surged today, up nearly 500 points, and the S&P 500 finished solidly higher as well.
Still ahead at 5, managing misinformation in the AI age.
Artificial intelligence moving into city halls across the country. But how do you know what to trust? We're showing you how cities are balancing innovation with accountability. But first, Jolie.
A local nonprofit dedicated to saving dogs is giving 20 from a troubled rescue a second chance. Volunteers from Bark Nation now telling me about the work to get these dogs ready for the homes they deserve to live out the rest of their lives.
You're watching 7 News Detroit, part of the Scripps News Group.
Tonight on 7 News Detroit at 6, scammers targeting those searching for tow truck companies online.
It is a crime, there's no doubt about it. And it's ripping the public off. This is horrible.
They're reportedly hijacking advertisements from local companies, stealing hundreds of dollars from unsuspecting victims.
And you call, and they don't come.
What one tow truck operator says you should never do before a tow truck arrives to make sure that you don't get scammed. It's all new tonight on 7 News Detroit at 6. Simon, Glenda.
All right, Mike, thank you. We'll see you shortly. Turning now to our forecast, we did wake up to some snow this morning. And tonight, the Knicks are in town to take on the Pistons.
A tip-off is set for 7 o'clock tonight. And if you're heading out the door, make sure you bundle up. If you just step outside, you feel it.
Yeah. Right. Get inside that warm arena.
Yeah, and it is going to feel a lot different when you're walking compared to when you are walking out, because we'll have an Arctic front moving through during that time, which is going to bring us some Arctic air. Some cold temperatures are on the way. But let's take a look at where the cold air is now as we take a look across the state. First, we'll start down near us. We're at about 32 in the city of Detroit, but then just off to the northwest, we're into the 20s, and then even farther off to the north, we are looking at 12 right now in Gaylord, Traverse City 18 degrees, Sault Ste. Marie at a warm 8 at this moment. But that cold air is moving in our direction. The Arctic front is pretty much right about here. You can see some of that cold air coming through, and it will drop our temperatures as we move through this evening. Most of us right now, though, around the freezing mark, either upper 30s or mid to upper 20s across the area. We did make it to the freezing mark almost everywhere today, which was the first time that we've actually made it to that point in more than 2 weeks. So thankfully, we are looking at least some warm conditions today. However, it gets cold tonight, but the good news is we're on the edge of the Arctic blast, which means that we are only going to see the bitter cold for one day, and then we'll start to see some improvements. All right, we still have a little bit of snow moving through. There's also a couple lighter snow showers off towards the southwest of Flint. Still a chance for some light snow through this evening, but overall we will start to see the snow end, and then the Arctic front comes through, and that brings us colder air. Cold enough air plus winds will also lead to a cold weather advisory, which goes into effect at 8 o'clock tonight all the way through noon tomorrow. Wind chills tomorrow morning are going to be around 15 to 20 degrees below zero. So let's take a look at them. Wind chills right now mainly in the teens across the area. Then as we move into tonight, wind chills will be falling again below zero, with our coldest wind chills right around sunrise. Also when we're going to have our coldest temperatures. So wind chills across the area will be anywhere from about 15 to 20 degrees below zero, especially north of the city of Detroit. Maybe not quite getting there farther to the south, which would be nice, but still you'll be waking up feeling like a few degrees below zero. Now as we move throughout the day, even by the lunch hour, it is still going to feel cold across the area. In the afternoon, it'll feel a little bit warmer, mainly on the other side of zero, but our air temperatures will be chilly tomorrow. We will mainly be staying in the teens across the area. Even though it's going to be cold, we'll at least have some sunshine. That's the one bright note of tomorrow, especially early. Then we'll pick up more clouds later in the day, but you can see overall our temperatures will be struggling. We move into your Sunday. We warm up just a little bit after starting off back into the single digits across the majority of the area. Low 20s for your Sunday. Then we're up to 30 on Monday, and mid to upper 30s expected midweek. And there is a storm coming in Tuesday that, because we'll be in the upper 30s, good chance we're going to see rain rather than looking at some snow showers across the area. We'll keep an eye on that system, but it does look like 30s will be sticking around for most of next week, guys.
That's a warm-up. All right, Marissa, thank you.
We'll take what we can. Well, they are dogs that were rescued from the streets of Metro Detroit and even from Asian meat markets overseas, but sadly, they never found their way into loving homes.
Thankfully, that's all about to change for 20 dogs, all much older, now a bit timid, but ready for adoption, thanks to a group of volunteers who believe they could make a difference.
And they are. 7 News Detroit reporter Jolie Sherman shows us how they're making sure these dogs live the rest of their lives in the best possible way.
Scarlett. Thanks to animal advocates and volunteers at Bark Nation, a nonprofit dedicated to saving dogs, these precious pets you see here get another shot at life.
We had known about these dogs and the situation, and honestly all of the animals, but didn't know exactly when or if we would be able to step in, and honestly the pieces just came together.
Bark Nation's operations director Marissa Gregg says the nonprofit took in 20 dogs from a rescue known as the Devoted Barn. 7 News Detroit has been following their legal troubles, and its owner Melissa Borden is currently serving 6 months in jail for animal cruelty and abandonment in a case tied to other animals, including pigs, llamas, and goats.
One day we're like, what if? And we sent an email, and the next day a volunteer called and was just thrilled that we had reached out, and you know, they were so hopeful, but it was also very unlikely that an organization would be able to take all of the dogs.
But they did, and in just 2 weeks, Bark Nation has been able to give these senior dogs the medical and behavioral treatment they need, even partnering with training centers like Canine Turbo in Ferndale to get them ready for homes.
We pretty much uprooted our one whole side of our shelter and just planned for the worst and hoped for the best, and it has honestly exceeded and blown us away at how resilient these dogs have been.
We reached out to Devoted Barn for comment, and they said in part, quote, "Our volunteers decided this was the best decision for everyone involved. While it was so difficult to see their time with our rescue end, we are excited that our dogs have the chance to meet many new people and potentially find foster homes when they're ready."
While Safi here is part of a previous cruelty case taken in by Bark Nation, we connected with a woman who has spent over a decade in dog rescue who plans to adopt one of the Devoted Barn dogs. And she says she's honored to give them a second chance.
It's really I feel honored to be able to help one of them become a happy house dog.
While none of the dogs have gone into homes yet, the nonprofit says that'll happen soon, and they're proud to have given them a fresh start.
So this piece is just one little step in their next part of their journey, and it's huge to be able to play a part in that. Huge.
In Ferndale, Jolie Sherman, 7 News, Detroit.
So good to see them getting a better situation.
To the rescue. Still so sweet. Thank you, Jolie. All right, still ahead at 5, outrage across the aisle.
President Trump posting, then deleting a racist depiction of the Obamas.
The White House now calling it an error, who they're blaming, and the reaction from lawmakers.
It is a topic getting a lot of attention at the dinner table. U.S. and Iranian negotiators just wrapped up indirect talks in Oman. Both sides say they plan to keep talking, and Iran called it, quote, a good start. But there is no deal yet. The talks focusing only on Iran's nuclear program. And both sides will head back to their capitals to consult leaders before setting up any future talks. All this coming amid heightened tensions and one day after the U.S. nuclear treaty with Russia expired.
Well, you may have heard about this today. The White House now says a staffer, not President Trump, shared a video that has sparked outrage. The video depicts former President Obama and Michelle Obama with their heads superimposed on the bodies of apes in a jungle setting. A racist image that sparked widespread outrage.
We are not showing that image. Lawmakers from both parties calling it disgusting, demanding it be taken down. The post has since been deleted, but the backlash continues to grow.
You've probably been following this case. Luigi Mangione is heading to trial for the killing of CEO of United Healthcare. And now we know when, June 8th, for his state murder trial. He's also facing federal charges, which means a second trial later this year. In court today, Mangione said that he feels like double jeopardy, being tried twice for the same crime. The 27-year-old has pled not guilty to everything and could face decades in prison if convicted.
Still ahead at 5, the future of AI.
Yeah, more leaders are turning to technology to run cities and services.
AI is starting to help run your city, from chatbots to traffic systems. But how do you know when it's being used and whether you should trust it? I'm business and tech correspondent Maura Barrett. Coming up, we look at the guardrails local leaders say matter most.
A longtime barbecue joint in Detroit is getting ready to close its doors for good. I'll share why some customers say supporting the business in its last days hasn't been easy.
Your voices, your stories, in your community. You're watching 7 News Detroit.
First at 5:30, long lines and growing frustration as a longtime Detroit barbecue spot prepares to close its doors. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Simon Shaquette.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. It is the end of an era, but some customers are feeling frustration instead of reflecting on fond memories.
7 News Detroit reporter Demetria Sanders talking with happy and not so happy customers as well as workers at this barbecue joint.
As Park's Old Style Barbecue prepares to close, they've seen lots of support from their loyal customers, but some say their experience over recent days hasn't come without some problems.
I grew up on Park's Barbecue.
On Beaubien Street near the intersection of Custer, there's a small carry-out restaurant that's become iconic for some.
Our barbecue and everything, this was the place to come. Like I said, I've been coming here for over 50 years now.
First opening in 1964, Park's Barbecue serves no-frills classics using this pit to cook up everything from rib tips to full slabs, but ask around and there's no question what the star is.
The sauce is what kills me, I swear. Hey, just give me the sauce and bread, I'm good.
The special vinegar taste. You can't beat it.
I'm told Sunday will be the last day to visit Park's Barbecue. Staff says the business is closing after more than 6 decades due to factors like declining traffic and its owner, Rod Park Sr., becoming ill.
This is his baby, so being that he's sick, that made us fall behind on a lot of bills.
Since announcing the closure, customers have shown up in a big way with phone lines ringing off the hook.
Very wow, y'all really love us that much, and they've been showing us love.
But there has been frustrations for some.
Somebody's going to show me how to either give me my money back or give me a product.
Some customers on Friday sharing they paid for orders online through Park's website just to show up at the restaurant and learn they can't be fulfilled.
I wanted to come support them for their last time. And this is what we get.
Now, I did ask the manager about those concerns. They say they're working to disable their online ordering system, and customers who paid but did not receive food will be refunded in 3 to 7 days. Demetria Sanders, 7 News Detroit.
Demetrius, thank you. And new at 5:30, more fallout after the shooting death of a man on January 6th of this year by Washtenaw County Sheriff's deputies after a stop. In a public statement, family attorney Todd Flood now identifying the man killed is John Andrew Genuine. His family adding they continue to grieve as both state police and private investigators conduct thorough reviews. As of now, we've learned deputies intended to pull over 2 men in a white van after a 911 call about an argument involving a man's wife and a gun. During a stop, However, Flood says deputies opened fire without ever seeing a gun and realized the driver did not fit the description of the suspect. Furthermore, Flood telling me body camera footage, training reports, and now an autopsy are now all being considered, along with dispatch communication to determine what led to all this.
On behalf of the family, what is the message you want to put out right now?
They still are going through, a terrible amount of trauma, and they want to make sure that, their family's peace right now is respected. The fact of the matter is there's 27 shots, Simon. Police officers were shooting across from each other, could have hit themselves, some from the bottom of the vehicle, some from the top of the vehicle. John, 34-year-old Navy vet, a hero, had a great job.
Well, today I did reach out to the sheriff for comment. I am still awaiting a response. In the meantime, attorneys for the family also waiting for test results to come back before taking further legal action.
Scammers in Michigan are at it again, this time claiming you owe parking fines. Michigan State Police speaking with X and taking to that with a warning. And they say scammers are sending out text messages like this one, claiming you owe parking fines and threatening action. MSP says these messages are fake and you should not click on the link or share your information. MSP reminding everyone to confirm fines through official sources.
And new at 5:30, your City Hall might be using artificial intelligence right now to handle your complaints and questions, and you probably don't even know it.
We're wrapping up our News Literacy Week with something that hits close to home. AI is quietly moving into local governments across the country, and the big question is whether you can trust it.
Business and tech correspondent Maura Barrett shows us how cities are trying to balance innovation with accountability.
You might get a public service announcement or 311 message from your local government and not think twice about AI helping send it. But what about the chatbot on a city's website or traffic lights timed perfectly to keep cars moving and cut down on emissions? AI is showing up more and more at the local level to help cities and counties run smoothly.
There was general enthusiasm at first, particularly from elected officials, to try to integrate these tools quickly, to get more organizational efficiency out of them, and to try to scale.
Chris Jordan helps city leaders navigate AI development through his work at the National League of Cities, which found AI tools can be most helpful in enhancing city services, supporting employee tasks, and helping cities make sense of their data. With 96% of mayors expressing interest in using generative AI, Jordan says public trust comes down to clear, uniform standards, like creating AI-specific privacy policies and labeling when AI is used in public-facing content.
Public listening sessions or task forces can also be appropriate for cities to use if there's a general sentiment of anxiety or distrust about certain technologies.
Some cities taking the extra step when it comes to transparency. Lebanon, New Hampshire posts a public list of every AI tool it uses, while San Jose runs an annual review of how its algorithms impact residents.
For the most part, constituents want faster and more effective city services that make them feel good about how their tax dollars are being spent.
Joe Scheidler is building Helios, an AI tool for policy work. The big hurdle? The perception and reality that AI can get things wrong.
Workforces do not trust generative AI outputs in many contexts and sensitive use cases. And so we've been really laser focused from a product mission perspective on solving the issue of hallucination, AI drift, and baking verification, traceability, and provenance into the user experience.
Maura Barrett, Scripps News Group, Denver.
Coming up at 5, saying goodbye to a familiar favorite.
Coca-Cola making a big change, saying the juice just isn't worth the squeeze. The product coming off the shelves and how long you have to stock up.
And cracking down on drones, the new rules from the FAA and how much violators could have to pay. Mike?
Simon, Glenda, ahead on 7 News Detroit at 6, a brazen crime. A woman caught on camera stealing a tip jar from a restaurant in Warren.
We've always kept a jar right here on this counter. It's never been taken.
What customers are saying about her actions and the message from the restaurant's owner. Plus, a local school hosting a blood drive to honor a brave young girl with a rare disease.
It means a lot to see her laugh and strive through life. She's not.
The impact this has on her life and so many others. These stories and more ahead on 7 News Detroit at 6.
You may have noticed more drones in the sky. Now the FAA says it's cracking down. The agency says it will be more aggressive about enforcing safety rules. That includes flying without authorization or entering restricted airspace. If a drone endangers the public or is used in a crime, legal action is required. Penalties can include fines of $75,000 and license suspensions. This comes just days before the Super Bowl. The Levi's Stadium area has multiple flight restrictions in place.
And speaking of the Super Bowl, it is a record-breaking year for ad costs. Instacart's 30-second ad featuring Ben Stiller and Benson Boone is estimated to cost at least $8 million for airtime. Uber Eats also going big with some 30-second spots this year, costing up to $10 million.
Pepsi's Polar Bear and Budweiser's American Icon spot both land in that same price range, $8 to $10 million for just a half a minute. It's the first time Super Bowl ads have hit 8 figures, driven by huge demand and a massive audience.
Those numbers keep going up, up, and up, more and more.
Up and up. Wow. But it is fun to check them out.
Yeah, certainly. Well,
a shocking sale. A tiny sketch by Michelangelo just fetched more than $27 million at auction. The drawing only 5 inches tall. It's called Foot of the Liberian Sibyl. It was Michelangelo's preparation for one of his most famous masterpieces, the Sistine Chapel ceiling frescoes.
well, something much less glamorous, the forecast to look at now.
Snow colder for the weekend, Marissa.
Yeah, we do have an Arctic front still to get through today. I've already had many people tell me, it's not too bad outside. Feels like spring. Well, the Arctic front is going to move through this evening. It's going to feel just like winter by the time we get to tomorrow. I'll have a look ahead coming up.
The Winter Olympics are back and curling is in the spotlight. How this sport has evolved, what we're learning, and who came out on top.
Next Wednesday, this is your invitation. 7 News Detroit is bringing our Let's Talk series to Macomb County, and we want to hear from you. What's happening in your neighborhood, what's working, and what needs to change.
Join us at the Engine House in Mount Clemens from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Bring your questions, concerns, ideas, and more. This is your chance to be heard. We will see you on Wednesday. Here at home, the Winter Olympics already inspiring people to try new sports. While most of us may not be skiers or jumping or finger skating, well, there's Olympic sports that you can actually try right here in Metro Detroit.
That's right. Curling is alive and well at Detroit Curling Club. So we want our reporters to go out there and check it out. Evan Seary, Jeffrey Lindblom, battling it out on the ice. Let's just say the competition got heated.
So curling is the sport, or perhaps even science, of curling your biceps.
No.
Curling is an Olympic sport played outside
No,
for the
inside.
Okay. So curling is what many people can do with their hair for a certain
No, those are hair curlers.
Okay.
How about we go inside and meet a couple of athletic curlers and figure out exactly what this sport is all about?
I'm pretty sure that's what curling is for your biceps.
It's often called chess on ice because you're moving the pieces around.
But there aren't any bishops or knights here. Stones rule this board.
And the team agrees on the shot and has an idea of how much force should be behind it, how fast it should be traveling down the ice.
An ice-cold sheet inside the Detroit Curling Club.
Our club is almost at capacity.
Michiganders just can't get enough.
And you're going to push off. Whenever we talk to people, not only are we welcoming them in, we're encouraging to come out and just try the sport. It's just that simple.
And encourage Evan and I, they did. So we trained.
Sweep.
First the sweep.
Going, guys, come on. It's not going to get there by itself.
And then in the throw.
Go.
Wait. Don't get that part. No. False start. Me first.
Hey, looking pretty good.
Okay, good.
That was good?
It was your first time. That was a good try.
All right.
Okay, Jeff, hips up and lunge.
My turn.
Good form, Jeff.
Feeling pretty good until you got in my way. I think it's feeling like game time.
Good curling.
Curling, Evan.
I think I like my odds.
Don't get cocky. The sweeping speeds up the 44-pound rock.
Moving it across the ice and hopefully as close to the center as possible.
That's a really beautiful draw.
Things starting off looking pretty good for me.
Yeah, sure, Jeff.
Evan, you're looking a little tired there.
Watch this. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. Why
Why is it going that way? They got to do their jobs better. All right, well, not my fault.
Let me show you how it's done.
You think that has a chance?
Hey, it looks pretty good.
Is it on?
Oh no.
Yeah!
That's game, buddy.
At least I'm a good sport.
Win or lose, it is all about good fun.
And good manners.
And
good curling.
Reporting from the Detroit Curling Club, I'm Jeffrey Lindblom.
And I'm Evan Seary, 7 News Detroit.
Oh, that was such a great story. I think the best thing about all of that, too, is yes, it's a winter sport, but it's inside because it has been cold over the last 2 weeks. Today is our warmest day that we have seen in 16 days, making it to the freezing mark, but it is going to get colder again as we move into tonight. First, let's talk about some snow. We did have some steadier snow move through. That's now into Canada, but there are still some lighter snow showers still in place, so looking at just a few more as we move into the rest of tonight. You can see some lighter snow just to the south of New Baltimore, north of Mount Clemens, and over towards Macomb. Again, not accumulating to much, but could lead to some slippery spots on the roadways. Also, some lighter snow south of Flint through Fenton down towards Highland. That's continuing to move to the southeast, but I really don't expect any major disruptions because of the snow as we move through the rest of the day today. But let's take a look at the rest of the weekend and what we can expect. We're actually going to see not only the snow end, but our skies clear out a bit as we move into tonight. We'll go with partly cloudy skies overnight tonight as well as into tomorrow. Even at times, we could be looking at a lot of sunshine, so mostly sunny. That will be the best chance in the morning tomorrow before more clouds come in through the afternoon. Then on Sunday, we'll have more clouds come in as a system kind of slides just to our west. There's a chance that we may also get a couple snow showers west of US 23, but most of us will miss out on the snow on Sunday. But Sunday is going to start to bring our temperatures away from the teens because tomorrow we will be looking at temperatures in the teens. We're looking at cold conditions expected. Still a few more snow showers this evening. Overnight tonight, it does get windy, and then looking at more sunshine Saturday before that chance for snow on Sunday. Have a look at your 7-day forecast coming up at 6.
Super Bowl 60 is just 2 days away, and this year's Puppy Bowl will feature 3 dogs from Michigan. The pups are Dan from SPCA of Southwest Michigan, and Mia, Muffin, and Shishi from Big Lake Humane Society in Muskegon. And for the first time ever, 15 special needs dogs will take the field in the annual event, the Puppy Bowl, kicking off at 2 p.m. on Sunday. You don't want to miss that. Way to go. And that does it for us. 7 News Detroit at 6 is next. Glenda, Mike.
Thank you so much, Simon. Shishi. All new tonight at 6, wrecker warning.
Yeah, con artists posing as tow truck drivers swindled out of hundreds of dollars. The red flags you should be looking out for.
Plus, reversing course. Stellantis spending billions to restructure its electric vehicle plan. What an auto expert tells me this means for the industry.
And showing their support, a school rallying around a young student who depends on blood transfusions. The impact that young girl says this has had on her life and many others.
These stories and more ahead on 7 News Detroit at 6.